Welcome back to Roving Slant After Dark.
It's another episode, another day.
It's a night.
It's a night.
It's after dark.
It's true. What am I thinking?
Yeah. So anyway, what episode is this? 25?
Yeah, it is 25. Yeah,
We're doing, this is the 25-hour podcast?
Yeah, right
This is
now.
it?
Starting, everything we have in this room is what we're drinking, eating. So, Ass Blaster on the table, that's our only food.
Yeah, I just wanted to note it, alright, so there's this bottle called Ass Blaster. It's hot sauce, right? On the bottom, you can see the hot sauce, but it's also, plastic. I don't think this is going to store very well for very long.
Yeah, it's so hot it can be contained by plastic.
Yeah.
It's not acidic. It doesn't melt through.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that, they're like, oh yeah, it's a good idea to put into a plastic bottle and, somebody won't leave this out in the sun, it'll melt, and then they'll eat it and die.
Some animal blasts its ass out. On the pavement.
Dude, it's got a donkey on it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a dead donkey after the ass is blasted.
It just causes prolapse.
Yeah. Your whole colon exits. That's why they put it in plastic, because the capsaicin in it leaches from the plastic and makes it a truly toxic concoction.
Dude, they have two sauces. They have Ass Blaster and Pink Sock. You don't want to know about Pink Sock.
Yeah, Pink Sock is what happens on the other end. You get an inverted pink sock.
So, anyway.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Slightly new location for temporarily displaced.
Yep.
What's happened in your life? Why don't you talk about that?
Dude, Jack Diddles. Really.
Jack Diddles, bro. Is that the name of a video game you're playing?
Yeah, dude. I'm gaming, dude. I'm playing Jack Diddles.
Yeah, it's this porn game I found online. You play as Jack, the eponymous character. He's kind of like a cowboy, but also like a bachelor. And he's single and ready to mingle. And, man, he goes.
It's like Leisure Suit Larry if Larry was a little bit too aggressive.
And cowboy. It's the Wild West out there in LA, man. I'm telling you.
Hey there, Missy. You want to smell my fingers?
You know what they call me? Jack Diddle. You know why they gave me that name? I don't know, Jack. Tell me.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
But anyways, I saw an image the other day. This is really important.
Yeah,
I saw an image.
That's what our podcast is for.
I know.
The important things.
I saw an image. It was one of those boomer newspaper comics, right?
Okay.
And it had the caption of there was a sign on the top that said gynecologist convention. They were all just sniffing each other's fingers. And I laughed because it was really dumb. It's just such a the fact that somebody made this and was like, that's comedy gold right there. It was, I don't know. I think that because it was it's really dumb, and someone of any kind of maturity would not laugh at it, but I think I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to laugh at it because of the actual joke. It's just the fact that someone actually created this and was like,
yeah, it was
here you go.
It was making tangible this thing from an artist's perspective.
Yeah.
Them putting forth the effort. That was what was funny to you.
Yes.
It's okay. Even if you found the joke funny, I wouldn't judge you.
I mean, it's not even that well drawn. Here, actually, all right, let me show you.
Yeah, we'll just put it as the picture in the thumbnail.
I guess, I have to probably update from the Depression cast. I mean,
yeah, dude, I mean, do you feel, I guess you can do that after you show me the finger sniffing gynecologist.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just they're all sniff each other's fingers. There's that's actually it for the image. There's nothing.
There's nothing. I mean, they all have big noses. That's pretty notable. Yeah. Pretty noseable, I guess.
As all gynecologists do.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weird part is? Isn't there more female gynecologists, or am I just dumb?
I think there probably is.
I would guess that there would.
I don't know for sure, but I would imagine there is.
Yeah. I mean, I know, my wife sees a female gynecologist.
Yeah. My girlfriend sees the female one, so that's at least 2 in our sample size, which is like everything. I mean, anecdotally, all gynecologists are women.
I don't even know of any other women.
Yeah, it's true. In fact, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think women have other jobs other than gynecology.
There you go.
As far as I'm considered.
Hey, wait a second. Yeah, no, I can't think of any other... No, yeah, that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so...
Speaking of Depression Cast, though.
Okay, Depression Cast.
Because this is therapy, this podcast. That's what we're here for.
This room seems like a therapist's office.
Honestly, if I get a red chair in here...
I would lay down, yeah.
I'll put some glasses on.
I think what you need, though, is you need a like, outside light. You need some sunlight coming in. If there was sunlight in this room... That would be it.
Yeah, I need some books on a shelf, some sunlight coming in the room, and like a pad of prescription paper to be able to write you your prescriptions.
Yeah.
Oh, you're depressed. Yeah, I got a pill for that. Here, do you want to try this one or these other 100?
Yeah.
Let me know. This one's supposed to be real good.
Do you want to, like, take some drugs with me?
Yeah.
I mean, I can write you this prescription. You go get it. Bring it back here.
Yeah.
We just take the pills.
I'll show you how to cut it. Just bring it back to me. And here, I got this other... It's just sugar. I'm adding sugar to it. It's just something we get for free here, and I got to show you how to do it. Yeah. So here, you take this scale that only measures in micro, the smallest units of measurement ever. And then here, we're going to take this razor blade.
There you go.
Good job.
Chop
You're
it up.
Doing good.
Yep. That depression doesn't stop you from using that razor blade.
No.
See, look at that. We're already making progress. But, so anyway, no, I mean, like, all right, so Depression Cast.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the low valley. Okay.
Yeah.
But, I came out of it. I think, I don't know, every single time that I feel like I get that way, I come out of it with the same thing where I'm like, I just gotta, like, live life and be happy.
Yeah, so you dust off your old philosophy for life, and then you're like, wait, I need to do this. This is it.
I need to just continue living.
Did you make any other changes or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I worked out a lot, and then, that was last week, right? So I worked out a lot, hung out with, like, I had a weekend of nothing, and I think that helped a little bit, because it was just, like, me and the wife, we just, like, watched Better Call Saul, and, like, literally did almost nothing.
Yeah.
Leaves were raked in my front yard. The backyard's still there. If you want to...
Yeah, backyard needs to be raked.
Yeah.
Rake cast.
Yeah. The rake cast. But, so, it is good coming out of it.
Yeah, so it sounds like you had a couple days of just spending time regenerating.
Yep.
Coping from all that social activity you had.
Yep. And then I think, too, I mean, like, I want to say by, like, so last week we recorded on what, Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, by Monday, I think, I started, like, making phone calls and doing a bunch of work stuff again. And I think...
That's what did it. You finally...
bit.
You found some... I mean, it was probably both a mix of relaxing and doing things, like, for work. Because that was something you mentioned that you were worried about. You hadn't worked in a month. You hadn't felt like you were useful. And now that... Divinity has decided that you can jump into the treadmill again.
Yeah, the wage mill.
Yeah. Little wage slave. You're like, finally, I feel like I'm worth something again.
There's the carrot again.
Start running. Look, it's the carrot. It came back. That's really funny. I was reading the other day, because I've been doing a bunch of research about China, and one of the things that I came across, which was amazing, it was super useful, was they have this idiom. I don't know the whole idiom off the top of my head, but one of the bits that they use from it is directly translated as "eat bitter."
Uh-huh.
So it's like, and the idea is that like, essentially, when you see like an English translation of that saying "eat bitter," it translates to "no pain, no gain." Is essentially what it is, because it's like it's basically about like Chinese people's ability to like endure hardship, because they've endured like a ton of hardship. And I was reading about the ideology and the differences between like how they view life and how we view life, and it was really interesting because they view life in a way that like you can't separate the good from the bad. Like, that is just life itself.
Yeah.
They don't really need a reason to live because they're alive. They're already living. What they need is, like, they need a reason to die. That's the only thing that they need. So, like, we view life as, like, oh, we need, like, a reason to live, and, like, whether or not the good parts in life are worth living, like, for us. But for them, it's, like, the opposite, and in, like, a weird, different way. And I thought that was really interesting, because I know, like, a lot of my fans for my difficult game that I make are Chinese. Yeah. And I recognize now that it is literally in their culture that endure suffering for, like, the pleasures of tomorrow, essentially. Like, you have to feel the pain, because life is suffering, and that's one of the noble truths of Buddhism. That's the first noble truth, is that life is suffering. So if there's any other ideology that perfectly matches up with the things that I'm trying to say in that game, it's their ideology.
Damn.
So I thought that was interesting. I think it lends a new perspective to suffering, this idea that you can't excise one from the other. You can't have, like, happiness without sadness. Yeah. Because you need sadness in order to feel the value of what happiness brings you. In the same way that you need to feel poverty in order to value, like, the material, like, wealth and anything you have, whatever. You need to experience love to be grateful for, or you need to experience unlove and hate to be grateful for, like, when you have love, and vice versa. It's all. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah. In the same way that you need to experience a low of not having a job to be grateful that you have work coming in.
There you go.
On the carrot. Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to follow my carrot.
Yeah. Basically, it was like they left a scent trail, and they're like, "Come on, Sam, come back to the ant colony. We got work for you to do." And you're like, "Yes, I'm part of the hive mind again."
I thought I could go by myself, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to go on my own, but then I realized I needed direction.
So this weekend. Yeah. This upcoming weekend, I'm going to the cabin.
Oh, okay. Another cabin family.
Trip. Oh. Everybody's going to be there. I know it's going to be just a bash, a drinking smash. Okay. I think there's like 14 people there. Okay. All right. For once in my life, I'm telling myself, just let go. Just don't think about how many beers you're going to have. Don't think about how many shots you're about to ingest and how hungover you're going to be the next day. Just let it all happen and see what happens. And I'm like, I don't know. I've been thinking about this for a while. And I'm like, I think, like, this will be the first time in my life that I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how drunk you get.
You're just going to let go.
I'm going to get liver failure. That's what I want. Yeah.
You're like, man, I've been feeling depressed lately, so what I need to do is just let go, injure my body in plenty of different ways, and see what happens. Yeah.
God. I did go to the gym a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. And that was with the trainer, and dude, let me tell you, he destroyed my legs. Yeah. He taught me. He said, "You're going to learn today," and I learned. So
you came, you saw, you learned.
Yeah. I just did like a bunch of the like slanted machine that you put the weights behind you and you like yeah.
You did that? Wow.
Yeah, well, so like I did 245s on it, and then like I did 10. Or sorry, well, you started with 145, then we added 25, then we added 45. And then we did the 40. After the 45, he's like, "Stay there." And he took off to the plates like 15 now. I'm like, Jesus Christ. My legs were broken.
Wow. Even after we were doing, last week, we went there and we did this.
Oh, yeah.
How do you even explain that machine? What was that called?
Hip.
It's basically like if you took if your knees are together and you pulled them apart and then you push them back together with weight.
Yeah.
You're like, your knees, they spread out. Yeah, you spread your knee, like you're getting ready in missionary position to take a man. Yeah. And then you're trying to push him off.
But he keeps coming.
Yeah, it's like there's two men, one on each knee, and you have to squeeze them together. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was like.
Somebody's trying to pry apart your legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the muscle that it works on is like, I don't even know what that's used for, because
I don't feel like I use it for anything.
Yeah.
After having done that, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this weight. No big deal. Up the weight. Oh, this is no big deal. We can do higher. Up the weight. And then like, it wasn't the next day after. It was like...
It was 2 days.
Yeah,
yes.
2 days after.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I can't walk.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It was intense. I mean, because like I was feeling it... Because it wasn't the first day, right? I was like, oh, it's a little sore. Then the day after, like that night, I was like, oh God. Like I was having trouble falling asleep for a second. So I just stretched for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That helped enough to where like fall asleep. And then, yeah, the next day
I also was having trouble sleeping too with it. I only know one exercise that can't really be done with body weight that actually does work those muscles.
Yeah.
Like you have to sit in like kind of like a pretzel position and then lift your legs up with weights on them. Mm-hmm. But man, that was hilarious. We're gonna have to go back and add that to our routine now. I'm ready.
Just pain.
Yeah, I want that.
I don't even know like because obviously it's like the inner groin muscle. Yeah.
All the way, from right ball to right knee.
Yeah. Yeah, that line.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That was rough.
God. But
yeah, you went to the gym, you learned, you came, you saw, you felt again, you learned.
And now I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I think honestly there's probably something else that I'm unaware of that changes my hormone balance that like I'm just pretty much unconscious of, because I felt that while working, like that depression type deal.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what triggers it, other than like I always thought it was sunlight, like I wasn't going outside enough, but like I felt like I was going outside enough, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have like different strategies for when I feel like that too. Like sometimes I do think it's a lack of sunlight, so I'll take like vitamin D that day or something. Other times, I'll just go outside, do exercise. I think it's like a lack of testosterone. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's caffeine, so I quit caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that like because like, all right, if I'm feeling good and happy while drinking caffeine, I mean, more than likely, if I'm not changing the caffeine consumption, I should, theoretically, continue feeling that way. So I think, probably something else.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. How do you feel? How's the no coffee?
Honestly, I feel pretty good. I thought I wouldn't be able to focus on work, and it's true. I have had some sort of like difficulty focusing on anything, concentration, but I don't know, I have moments where I can concentrate pretty well. I think it's just a choice, and I have to figure out how to do it. I mean, at a certain point, you just, like, your brain's like, no, I don't want to do this, and you're like, fuck you, we're doing it, and then your brain adapts. So I gotta go through that point of, like, disciplining myself over and over again, and I think that's what...
Yeah, but I mean, it sounded like the coffee... Did the coffee give you discipline?
Yeah, it gave me concentration.
Really?
Yeah, because every time I drink coffee, I can focus on something for a really long period of time. Well, at least until the coffee wears off.
See, like, I feel like... I think that's probably why you drank multiple cups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's... For me, it's efficiency. Like, I can do everything that I do without coffee. I'll just be slower at it, right? And I'll like... mess up a step or something like that. Like I'll go in a weird order, right? But if I drink a cup of coffee, I'll like do it in the right order, and like I don't know, I'm more mentally stimulated, so I feel like I pay attention more. That's all.
That makes sense. I mean, with the stuff I've read about how caffeine doesn't increase dopamine, but it helps the effectiveness of dopamine in you, I recognize that. Like, I just wanted to, I don't know, for some reason for me, caffeine feels like it's almost like, I imagine it's akin to what taking Adderall is like.
Yeah.
I haven't taken that, even though I have some. I should probably try it at some point just to see what would happen. But I do, it like definitely helps me focus. But that focus is like more and more short-lived as I get used to the coffee. And so I need more and more caffeine. And then that makes me more and more tired. And then as well as I don't feel like I get a good enough sleep when that happens, but I feel I've been getting really good sleep lately since I quit caffeine, as well as I also have been remembering my dreams.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. All my dreams right now revolve around like a path. It's actually every dream is like the same, kind of, in a different way. It all has the same symbol. The symbol seems to be, the reoccurring symbol is like a path. I'm always like walking, going somewhere, traveling on something or like running in some line or something. And I know where I need to go even if I haven't been there. And then I'm always like carrying some sort of like life with me. Like it's either herbs, like plants, or it's like vegetables or something when I go on these like journeys. And then like on the journey, I don't really understand the archetype enough because I haven't read enough Jung, but I do recognize that I'm like meeting a character that is like represented as like the anima. That's something they talk about a lot in dreams, is that there's different archetypes. And one of the ones inside of you that you have to acknowledge, according to like Jung and his study of dreams, is the anima. And the anima is like a female part of yourself, because like in men it's female, and then in women it's male. It's the animus. And like the anima is like a playful, like trickery, like woman. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't quite understand it, but I recognize like her in like the dreams when I have them. It is like she's trying to trick me into like doing something, or like sometimes it's like sex, sometimes it's other things. Sometimes she's trying to prime me with wine, and I recognize like this is the anima, like you're fucking with me or whatever. I haven't. They've talked also about like there's like a sage character, there's like a white and a black like wizard. I don't know. There's other weird things that you can meet in your dreams, but I don't know all of it. I just know that like I get the recurring dream of like the path, carrying life, and other things.
Let me ask you this. Did you only start dreaming about these things like after you read about them?
No, it's been a while since I've read Jung.
Okay. But I mean, like, what I'm saying is, like, do you remember any dreams in your past where you met, like...
You know, when I look back at dreams I've written down over the years and stuff like that, I do recognize that those characters are reoccurring. It's just I didn't have a name for them. And, like, it's almost... They weren't exposed to me until... Like, because they show up in different forms, but you feel like you know who they are, even despite that. Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I was talking to my wife about this, right? Like, because her dreams are often focused in a negative light, and it's usually like a family member or something like that, and something negative happens, like 99% of the time, right? Whereas my dreams are typically nonsensical. I recently had one that I was like I was watching a sitcom. Literally, like I was watching a sitcom and I was like looking at the characters, and I had the thought while I was dreaming, like, oh, this is a cool dream. Like, is the weirdest, dumbest thing in the world, like where it's just like super meta, and like my brain was just like, let's just watch a sitcom, dude. I don't know. Whenever I was a kid, I have two dreams that I like fondly remember. There's one where I was dancing with Boba Fett, like breakdancing, and like whenever we would breakdance, the faster Boba Fett would breakdance, there's a rainbow and like a cliff, and so we needed to get to the other side, and the rainbow would grow the faster we'd breakdance, and so then eventually got over to the other side. And then the other one was
that's amazing.
Yeah. I woke up before we got to the other side, so I have no idea. But anyway, the other one was I was a caveman. And so, like, I was, like, with my caveman brethren, like, we were hitting rocks together and stuff, and we had a little caveman fire, and we were completely sealed in. And then all of a sudden, like, a boulder gets, like, pushed aside, and it was Master Chief, and he throws me a gun. He's like, get out. I forget what he says now, but he literally, like, told me, like, get out there, or something like that. And he hands me, like, a battle rifle, and I don't know how to use it. And then, like, I walk out of the cave, and the dream ends. So it's like... I don't know. What do those mean?
I don't think those dreams are nonsensical at all. I mean, the first dream, the dancing with Boba Fett thing, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. But as for like the Master Chief thing, I could see like the symbol of like, hey, you need to like take action and do stuff in your life. Like, hey, here's the confidence.
Probably.
Like, go. Like, you need to go do this.
Master Chief is handing me the confidence in the form of a gun.
He's like, you don't need to know how to use the gun. You just need to do it because you'll figure it out along the way, right? And, you know, I have read about dreams that they're not just random. Like, they do have purpose and meaning. And they can classify dreams into, like, different categories. I forget what those categories are. I'll have to reread about it and get... smarter, and then we can talk about it. But they do like try to tell you to like, oh, this is your subconscious telling you that like you need to overcome this obstacle in your life. But they use like Freud called it like an infantile like reduction or something, where when you're in your dream you like revert to like an infant, and that's it just takes the base meaning of things and tries to put it into like a play for you to understand.
So something that I find kind of interesting as well too, and this is what I was talking to my wife about, is that because most of her dreams are negative, I feel as though a lot of her memories and the way that she thinks about things is in a negative light. Nothing really against her, it's just how she thinks. Mm-hmm. I mean, from an outside perspective, right? From what she talks about and what she tells me, right? Mm-hmm. And so I have a friend as well that in almost every single one of his dreams, he gets shot or someone near him gets shot. Mm. So I think that the idea of your dreams from like a scientific standpoint is maybe that it helps you remember things. Your brain's putting them in a story to help you remember them. Well, so if the most effective way for you to learn something is something negative happening to you, well, then your brain's like, well, that's the easiest way to remember this. I just make a negative story so that way you feel this way about this stuff and you go like, okay, I'll remember all these random things that whatever.
See, that's interesting. It's an interesting insight. I sort of view it from the perspective of like, the dream is trying to tell you if your dreams are negative and they're not positive, then you need to change your life. That's what I think it's telling you. Like, if your dreams are like you constantly being shot or somebody else being shot, then you need to consider life and death and whether or not, like, what that means to you. Like, maybe you're being shot in your dreams because you're already dead when you're living. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. Like, it's got to be something that's I sort of view it from the perspective of like your dreams are trying to communicate to you and you need to like understand the language of yourself or your subconscious. And everyone's is different. It's not going to be the same.
Mine is nonsensical.
Yeah. And you think yours is nonsensical, but I'm sure the more you look at it, the less it would seem nonsensical.
Just like whenever I talk about things, I talk very nonsensical. I don't really make much sense, but there's a deeper meaning to what I'm saying, and Dude, I do have meaning of what I say.
We're going to find the meaning of you breakdancing with Boba Fett over the rainbow
That was
Ridge.
Like when I was like 9, dude.
Yeah. What was happening when you were 9? What grade would you have been?
It was the first time I saw Star Wars, so that's where Boba Fett came from.
Okay,
right?
So you saw Star Wars. That was in space. It was you, Boba Fett. What does a rainbow represent to you?
I think that there was probably a video game where you walked over a rainbow bridge or something, and I thought that was interesting.
Okay, but what about the rainbow itself? What does that mean to you?
I don't know.
What do you like when you see a rainbow? How do you feel?
Right now, I feel like it's Gay Pride Month.
Okay, what do you think you would have felt when it was 9?
When I was 9, I didn't even know that gay people existed. So
it would have been like what?
I like colors, I guess. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to put things back in perspective of when I was 9. I barely even remember who I was when I was 9. You know what I mean? I can sit here and be like, these are the memories I had, and I remember acting these ways. But like to be able to tell you what I thought about a rainbow when I was 9 is like damn near impossible.
What about like dancing? What does that mean to you now?
I like dancing.
Yeah. Would you have thought breakdancing is cool when you were 9? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is that Boba Fett, like, because you know how they do like the head spin thing? Yeah. Boba Fett used the jetpack to go faster. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. So I think I was just being like, oh, that's pretty badass right there. Mm-hmm. That's
So Boba Fett is like a heroic, cool character, and he's doing cool, heroic things.
He's not even a hero. That's the funny part. I don't think I even digested that Boba Fett was like a bad guy when I watched it the first time.
Yeah, so you probably thought he was a hero, even if he wasn't.
Because he was cool looking.
Yeah, because he was cool.
He's got a jetpack and a gun and a missile. You know, he bends over and shoots up. Like,
and
who doesn't want that?
Yeah, and you would love to dance with that because that would be cool to a 9-year-old. Yeah. You love the concept of, like, jiving with the hero. Yeah. Like, and you're with the hero dancing with him. Yeah. So you're like you're idolizing the hero in him. Uh-huh. You're trying to do things as cool as he is. Uh-huh. And that coolness is represented in you. And the progress you make along your path is the breakdancing of the like the rainbow could just be the road, right? It's like the Rainbow Road in Mario Kart. I'm sure you had Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, I played Mario Kart a ton, yeah.
So in that case, it could be the path, right? Yeah. The path, you breakdancing on the road and being cool with, like, you becoming the hero, essentially. Okay. By breakdancing.
By telling Boba Fett to breakdance faster.
Yeah, and the obstacle that you're trying to overcome is any obstacle.
Is a cliff.
Is the cliff, right? Yeah. And getting across the cliff, you have to become the hero of breakdancing with Boba Fett.
My dream was telling me that.
I think it was trying to tell you that.
Yeah.
It was like, you need to be cool if you want to overcome your obstacles. That's what it's trying to tell you. You got to be like Boba Fett.
Yeah. It was like, be more like Boba Fett.
It was like, man, Boba Fett is a fucking cool hero. You got to be like him.
And then I didn't listen.
No, you didn't listen.
And became a schlub.
Yeah, you became a
schlub. Till like high school.
Yeah, and then somebody dangled a carrot and you're like, I like that carrot.
Give me it.
Is it covered in chocolate? I don't know.
I guess there's only one way to find out.
I guess I got to keep chasing. Yeah, maybe you just need to become like Boba Fett, bro.
There you go.
Well, and that's the reason you remember that dream even now.
Well, the thing was, I remember telling my parents, and they were like, that's weird. And then I was like, is it weird? I thought people's dreams just didn't make sense, like, all the time. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, so I've had dreams, too, that repeated. Only once or twice, though. Which I hear a lot of people have, like, repeat dreams all the time. Mm-hmm. But I never feel like I have them.
I don't think I've ever had a repeated dream before.
No?
At least not that I would remember, even if I did. I'm sure they happened. I just don't think
I don't remember.
I've had weird fucking dreams.
I
had dreams with, like, magical characters and, like, people that weren't me. And then, like, magic bear statues and stuff. I don't know. I've had ones that are like movies, one that involve death, some that involve life, some that involve like, I don't know. They're somewhere like cinematic. They're like shot like a movie.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm not sure.
No, like my latest dream was that sitcom one where I just was literally like, I wasn't like looking, I was sitting there watching a sitcom happen. Like, from, like, an above... Like, if the sitcom's happening on, say, a stage, I'm up in, like, a balcony seat, like, watching this, like, TV show sitcom, and I have the filter of, like, a CRT TV, but there's no CRT TV. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm, like, looking down, like, whoa, this is a cool dream. Like, I literally remember thinking that while I was watching the sitcom. I know nothing of the content of the sitcom.
Maybe that dream is telling you that you're, like, watching other people live life and you're not living life.
But, I mean, am I? I mean, like, I'm clearly conscious of the fact that I'm not living life then. You know what I mean? Because I'm watching... If the sitcom is life and I'm watching it, right? I'm looking through a lens of...
Oh, maybe you're watching people that are not living life because it's fake. Right? Could that be it?
It could be.
Yeah, maybe there's a lot of people around you that are living fake lives and you're watching them.
I very well could.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
There's so much. There's so much to write about to figure out.
So, I mean, like, another thing, too.
Yeah.
You ever lucid dream? You ever, like, take
control? I think I have vaguely, like, once or twice.
Every time that I've been conscious of me being... Because that's the first step, right? Is that you're conscious of a dream.
Yeah.
Every time, like, I've been in, like, horror dreams where I'm like, oh, wait, this isn't even real. And then, like, my brain, like, shuts off the, like, panic mode. And I go, like, okay, so, wait, I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen here. Or I wake up. Like, those are the two. Like, either I continue, like, living the whole... I stop for a second, take a breath, and go, like, okay, wait a second. So this is a dream. Okay, let's continue. I just kind of want to see where this goes. Or I'll just immediately, like, wake up. Yeah. There's also been times where, like, I was in a lucid dream, kind of, like, not really controlling it, but I think I always just want to kind of just see where, like, my brain's going to take me, I guess. Because, like, I remember, like, kind of, like, thinking, there was some person in my dream that really wanted something. I'm like, okay, here. And, like, gave it to him. Like, I just was like, oh, yeah, let me just get that on my pocket. Like, it was, like, some object, and I'm like, here, and then continued the dream. Like, it's been weird.
Yeah, that
like,
does sound weird.
My brain was like, oh, you're not supposed to give the guy the... okay.
Yeah, I definitely feel like one of my dreams I had recently was similar, where, like, I recognized that the logic just didn't make sense in that moment, and I woke up. Like, I was trying to cancel... I was trying to cancel an Airbnb, and it was not working. and my dream was trying to thwart me. Like, I had booked the Airbnb, and then I had, like, regretted it, and was like, oh, no, I don't want this. And so I, like, went to the app, but the app wasn't, like, there. And then when I finally went to their website, like, there was, like, a dude and a snake. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. This is an Airbnb. And then, like, I was, like, trying to still cancel it. And then so I went to the house, and I, like, met the woman who opened the door, and she passed out. And I was like, how am I supposed to get my refund for this Airbnb if this fucking old woman named Lorette, I guess, passed out? And then I, like, get in there, and that's when I met, like, the anima, and she was like, well, I could help you figure out how to get your refund, or we could take this wine upstairs. And I was like, no, bitch, I want my refund. Like, she was trying to, like, pry me with alcohol and, like, seduce me or something, and she's like, okay, well, and then she, like, goes over to, like, the woman on the ground and says something, and then I was like, this doesn't make sense at all, and then I woke up. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why I couldn't cancel my Airbnb. This fucking chick was trying to mess with me again.
See, no, I know that I, like, dream and I don't know it because, like, I sleep talk a ton and move around in junk. And so, like, you know, my wife will just tell me, like, so, like, do you remember, like, talking about, like, the bees or anything? And I'll be like, no. No, not at all. There was one time where, like, we were talking in the morning and she's like, so, like, where are these other 2 cats? I'm like, what? And she's like, so you're telling me, like, hey, what you asked me last night when we got a 4th cat? Like, we have 2 cats. And so she's like, I didn't know we got a 3rd one, and then now there's a 4th one? Like, because she was also, like, half conscious, like, trying to answer my question.
And you're like, yeah, I just got 2 neighborhood cats and put collars on them, named them.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Honestly, what better way to follow up an episode of living in reality and being depressed than with, like, the dreams, the illusory, the difficult to understand and comprehend. It's honestly, like, a great juxtaposition between both episodes.
Yeah. Well, so I started taking, I did get iodine.
Oh, did you?
I went to the vitamin
sweet.
store and got some iodine.
Make sure you take it with eggs or something. It's technically poisonous for your thyroid if you don't eat it with, like, selenium. So
really,
you kind of want to eat it. You want to take it after you have something with selenium in it. So, like, brown rice has it, eggs, other stuff.
All right, wait a second though. I think the stuff I have might have that in it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it does. Is it a pill?
Because it has 3. No.
Oh.
It's a dropper, but it has 3 ingredients. It has glycerol, which makes it taste sweet, which I didn't know it had in there. It has something else, and then iodine.
Okay. Maybe it's selenium.
It could be, yeah. Because I didn't recognize the second one at all. I knew glycerol is the sweet, glycerin or whatever. But yeah, it tastes still like chlorine, but it tastes like sweet chlorine now.
Okay, well, I guess start off with a couple of drops here and there.
Yeah, I just do 2.
Yeah, you probably get away with it even without the selenium, but that's what helps it actually work in your thyroid gland, from what I understand.
I usually make my breakfast wrap in the morning, so
perfect. And
that's when I take it. So
great.
Yeah.
The grind, bro. Yeah, maybe you'll be having more vivid dreams now that we're decalcifying your pineal gland.
Yeah, the second day of taking it, that's whenever I had the sitcom dream. So
that's funny. There we go. Maybe it'll start working out.
But yeah, so you know,
there you go.
That's all that's really happened in my life.
Yeah, it sounds like that sitcom dream was really the highlight. No. Watching TV, baby.
Oh, yeah. No, just hanging out with the wife is nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, yeah, it's been good, dude.
Yeah, I've just been kind of, I haven't had any focused reading recently. I've kind of just been bouncing around a bunch of books and stuff. I got pretty interested in, I don't remember even how I found it. It's called Divine Love and Wisdom by Swedenborg. And it was this guy that lived a life, and then at some point in his life, like, angels started talking to him, and they were like, hey, you're going to write what the Bible's actually about, and you're going to explain it to people. And so that's what his books are about. He wrote, like, tons of books, like, explaining religion, spirituality, like the spiritual world versus the natural world, and then like he also talked about like heaven and like what heaven's like, and for people that like believe in God but then also like don't believe in God and what happens to them and what hell looks like. And so he has like all these descriptions of like places he went of like in the spiritual world and like what happens to people that like forsake God in different ways and what kind of lives they live. It's really interesting. It's super fascinating. I actually just really enjoy reading it. It's a translation because he's not. His name's Swedenborg. I think he is actually Swedish. I'm not sure. But the books are really long. Like I'm only reading the first one right now, and even then I'm not really reading it. Like I'll get like a number that pops up in my head, and then I'll go to that page and start reading it. That's how I do it. I'll be like, man, I want to read some of this book, and then I close my eyes and I get 3 numbers, and then I type that into the PDF file, and I go to that page, and then there's something relevant on there for what I need to live. I don't know if it's just random or if
the whole book's relevant.
Something is telling me. Yeah, I don't know. I got no idea. That's how I'm reading it right now. So we'll see. The other day I was like, I took like all those great books of the Western world. And I was like just looking at them, and whenever I like felt something, I would like stop, open the book, and then I would like flip to a random page. And when I felt something, then I would open that page and read it, and that was relevant too. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe this is my new skill I need to cultivate.
There you go. Yeah.
Random reading, sporadic, spontaneous reading.
But the whole thing to me is like you can probably find anything relevant out of anything.
I don't know, man. This is deepening my faith in God. That's what it is. That's what I'm doing to myself. I open these books and I'm like, there's no fucking way. This couldn't happen. How do I have this information? How did I know this was on this page? I couldn't have. I've never opened this book.
Every single page has something relevant.
Dude. I'll even have a question and I'll be like, man, I need this question answered. And then I just go over the books. I stare at them for long enough. One of them like clues me in. I pick it up, open it up, and then there it is on the fucking page. I'm like, there's no way I could have known that. How is this talking about the exact thing that I fucking was looking for? It's like, oh, I have a question about lust. This page. No shit. Wow, that's really relevant.
Damn. Yeah.
I think you just gotta believe.
I just gotta believe.
You gotta believe that it's what you believe, basically.
Mm.
I mean, you are what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, you are what you eat.
You are what you eat. You are what you think.
Pajama Sam.
You know, there's a lot of pollution nowadays, is what I'm realizing. There's a ton
pollution?
a lot of pollution.
Oh, you just looked outside. You're like, there's a plastic bag.
No, I'm thinking about, like, from the perspective of, like, your 5 senses, you know.
Okay.
There's a lot of pollution. There's a lot of things that, like, there's a lot of ugly things to touch.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of things fucking up our air.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things ruining our sperm and our testes.
Yeah.
Like, in food. There's a lot of ugly things to hear.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of terrible music.
Uh-huh.
Bad TV shows.
Sure.
Not good architecture to look at.
Uh-huh. Square buildings.
Yeah, square buildings.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of pollution in different ways that affect the 5 senses.
But couldn't you look at those things in a different light and go like, in a way, they're beautiful? You know?
I think if you believe.
Yeah, if you look at a square building architecture, you're like, that is very efficient. And that makes it beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, you could look at it and, like, that is a structure that was cost efficient. It provides shelter or housing or whatever for whoever's inside of it. And that makes it beautiful.
It's beautiful the way that it falls apart so eagerly. And the people in there suffer and die quicker because of the terrible ventilation. There's something beautiful about the way people go to this place just to die.
Well, you know, yeah. So, but you know.
I do know. Alive. There's something there.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I believe that. I'll talk to you in like a year. Like, we'll be on episode like 50. Or whatever. I don't know how many episodes would be. we'd be at like 75.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
We're going to have a prosperous podcast by that point. We'll have a backlog of so much content and so many inside jokes, we won't even have to do the podcast anymore. We can just make a soundboard of all of our best moments.
And he just...
Yeah, and just regurgitate it. Yeah.
And gonna come gold?
Yeah. By then, they'll have the AI generation to be able to do our voices, so we can just text to speech.
Problem solved.
Anything I'm reading.
I'm gonna gold.
Yeah, dude. At that point, I'll just have a bunch of books in PDFs, and I'll have the AI. I'll train it to just pick a random page in a book and read a line from it. Yeah, and then you'll just respond.
I'll just have like a reaction.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh. Whoa. That's kind of.
That reminds me of that time.
I had this dream. Boba Fett. Rainbow. Dancing with everything.
Do you remember that time that we talked about the smelling guy?
Yeah.
And the bank?
Burned myself. Cabin. Woods. I meditate.
Just keywords. Like, it's for the other AIs to hear, and then for them to divert attention to our page.
Yeah. We'll be like, we have guests on, but it's just more AIs.
We have AIs with our voices that like go back and forth and just read like the top hashtags of Twitter for an hour and a half, and it's just like
stay relevant.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Banana. Orange book.
People oppressed. Cultural appropriation. Things people care about. Hashtag socks.
But yeah, so anyway.
I love McDonald's.
Yeah. It's all just sponsors.
Have you heard of Shadow Legends?
Right, Shadow
Legends.
The longest going mobile app to date.
Oh, man.
Mr. Shadow Legend.
Dude, our first sponsor, we're going to spend the whole hour and 30 minutes talking about him. That's something a podcaster has never done before. I know it.
I bet. I mean, they would be hard to not talk about Bombas socks.
Yeah, I want to get whatever the sponsor. I want to find a way to talk about it for an hour and 30 minutes. Like, oh my god, it could be like an underwear thing. Like, man, this underwear. How can you talk about underwear for an hour and 30 minutes?
Here, I'm about to put them on, guys.
Yeah, here. How does it feel putting it on? What about taking it off?
It's around my ankles, and even then.
How do you feel about the inner stitching versus the outer stitching?
Yeah, let's look at them. We're just like naked in a room.
The color? Yeah.
Looking at the underwear.
Oh my god.
I don't wear any other clothes.
Yeah.
Other than this pair of underwear.
Yeah, I really like the materials they use. Now, the materials they source from... Oh, dude, speaking of materials being sourced, you're gonna love this. I was watching this video because I was doing research in like China and stuff, and I thought this was particularly interesting, is that they actually haven't had the infrastructure to be able to create a ballpoint pen since, guess what year they figured that out?
1912.
2017.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they haven't. They're the largest manufacturer of assembling ballpoint pens, but they couldn't make them. They didn't have any of the infrastructure with which to create the fine tip, to be able to do that ball in the tip.
The really small ball bearing. Yeah, they couldn't make.
They couldn't do the ball bearing. They didn't have any of the technology to do that until 2017. Yeah, what they would do is they would ship in, as well as to make steel of that purity and quality. They weren't able to do that until because they would outsource it from Japan and I believe Switzerland and Germany. Those they would get all the pieces from them and then they'd assemble it. It wasn't until a politician in 2012 in China had talked about how he was upset that they weren't able to make their own ballpoint pens, that it took them 5 years of all resources being funneled into being able to create the infrastructure necessary to create ballpoint pens. Jesus. That they were able to create the ballpoint pen. I found that so fascinating. I was wow, weird. We get so much stuff from China, but we don't really think about how like their infrastructure doesn't have the capabilities to make any of some of these things.
Yeah.
At least I don't know about like that's why there's all that like microchip stuff and everything. But I thought it was really interesting.
That is
to consider. I don't have any other thoughts on it other than like, wow, this is really wild. I would have never thought.
I mean, like, yeah. Well, so, I mean, okay, there's certain technologies, like, here, that I work on that, like, are, like, either being retired, like, no one uses these machines anymore, and so, like, only, like, 3 guys know about it.
Yeah, and, I could totally see that happening everywhere, right? Yeah. Like, there's only, like, 2 experts in some place that know, and then when they die, it's done.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there is, oh, God, I can't remember the name of the robot. There is, okay, someone manufactured, like, robot arms, okay? And they were really cheap, and only a few places used it. And there's only, like, 3 guys that knew how to use these arms and how to repair them and stuff. And, like, as those guys got older and, like, would retire or whatever, these plants would be like, okay, so does anybody know how to use this robot arm? Can we find anyone in the U.S. that knows how to use it? No. Yeah, they don't exist. They straight up just... you have obsolete technology, you have to replace it.
That's crazy. It's like yeah. And so I guess it's not surprising to consider that China didn't have that infrastructure. It was just fascinating to me that like being the largest supplier of pens,
oh yeah,
that they outsourced it. I thought it was something that they were making themselves.
I mean, like,
so now they're making it, but
yeah. Well, I wouldn't think that you would like okay, so the purity of the steel thing, like, that's a weird one.
Yeah, the article I read was, like, the steel wasn't pure enough to be able to manufacture such small and fine parts because it requires a certain purity of steel to make it, like, not brittle and crack and hold up and stuff. So that was something as well that the article had mentioned that I read about it. But
Huh.
It's just something I stumbled on. I was like, that's so weird. Wow. I wonder how many other like places do that. Like, does Switzerland like import weird stuff? And then like what is that place? IKEA. Yeah. Like, do they just import like
all their like dowels and stuff? Like,
yeah. Like, does that happen? I don't know. I gotta know now.
All the wood dowels from okay. All the wood dowels from IKEA are like from like Tasmania or something.
Yeah, something weird. Yeah. It's interesting to think about how unself-sufficient countries would be if they had like a dispute that prevented them from importing or exporting to those countries. Like we are really in a global network that relies on itself. Yeah. And if those things are broken, then people aren't getting fucking pens.
Well, I mean, like, for the longest time, right? I mean, in the U.S., we had all the, we were like the number one automaker. Like, if you want to build a factory, come here, see how we're doing it, and then try to build that in your country and mess it up a few times. You know, so it was like, for the longest time, we were the only place that knew how to do these things. So I think that's how that starts, right? Let's just say in Germany, they know how to make that pure steel and make the little balls for the ballpoint pens. And so like someone comes over and tries to like go like, I'm going to try to do that in my country. They try to do it, they mess it up or whatever. And then maybe they have to go to Germany and be like, I'm going to bring a guy back that'll show us what to do, you know?
Yeah. You have those stories of people being like offered like 10 times their salary to work in a different country just to show them how to do the technology, basically.
Yep.
It's wild, dude.
It is.
It's really strange.
Yeah. But, you want to go to China?
Honestly, I do.
Yeah?
I think it'd be awesome.
I had my cousin's friend went there, and I watched his Snapchat, and I was surprised he could still use Snapchat.
Wow. Did he have, like, a video of his, like, journey in China or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, he had, like, like, him on a train and stuff like that. It's not like he vlogged it or anything. It just...
Yeah, I would definitely vlog it. That seems really interesting to me.
Well, I think if I were to go, I would probably use, like, a burner phone, honestly. There's some weird stuff that happens over there. Get an RFID blocker. Yeah, you'd probably want to, like, protect your technology a little bit. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
It'd be awesome. I want to see, like, everything from the most rural parts of China to, like, the most sprawling, like, technocracy, whatever stuff.
I mean, there was a few guys that I worked with that like went to China for work, and they were like, finding food was miserable, but everything else was okay.
I feel like I could find food. I wouldn't eat any, like, weird stuff, but
that's what they have.
I know they have a lot of weird stuff. I think I could... I mean, I'm already eating beef heart and liver, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, but I'm talking, like, chicken feet and stuff like that.
I could probably do chicken feet. The only thing I couldn't do is, like, rats or dogs or cats or pigeons, sparrows. I couldn't do any of those things.
Yeah.
Like, tiny animals and, like, domesticated animals, no. I don't know. I haven't eaten a lot of, like, weird fish stuff, too, so I don't know if I could do that. I haven't had crab, like, ever.
You've never had crab?
Yeah, I don't think I would. I'm not sure if I would like it or not.
I
probably would. Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
I mean, I like the shrimp
yeah.
and stuff like that. I like seaweed. I probably would like it.
Yeah, crab's very... your brain knows it's, like, really rich. Like, it has a lot of calories, or maybe it's not even a lot of calories. It just tastes really good.
Yeah.
So,
I just know that, like, Chinese people use, like, everything when it comes to food. So, I don't know. There'd probably be some limits. I also would never eat bugs. I don't know how big they are on bugs over there, but I know that, like, I don't know. I've seen videos of people eating, like, grubs and stuff like that, and, like, India, and
I'm all right.
I could never do that.
Yeah.
That's gross to me.
The thing is like, if I can just stick to, like, chicken, I'm all right. You know what I mean? Like,
chicken's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much beef they eat. I haven't seen... I've seen photos of, like, what, like, the wet markets look like, as well as... what, like, Walmarts and stuff sell. And some of that stuff is bizarre to me. I don't know. I'd be willing to try some of it, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, in Iceland, you can eat, like, horse.
Oh,
I'd try horse.
That's weird, but I'd be
okay with eating horse.
I could try it.
I wouldn't, like, be like, oh, man, dude, horse.
I'm a horse convert now, baby.
Why did we even eat beef? Just give me a horse. No, but, I mean, China, I wouldn't really want to go there for, like, work. I would only want to go there if, like, I had a group of people.
Really? I would have no problem going solo, bro. I want to go. Yeah.
I've done too many solo trips to where, like, I don't know. I'll, like, go to a place. So, like, for instance, I went to England.
Yeah.
And, like, I had the weekends off. I was working there. And so, like, on the weekend, I would go and be like, all right, let's go look at some stuff. So, like, I went to Worm's Head because I was in Wales. And Worm's Head is, like, all the way on the other side. It takes, like, an hour from where I was staying to get to. I get there. I, like, walk out of the car. I look around, like, whoa, that's cool. It's like a big cliff. Damn, there's, like, a big beach. Wow. All right. And I just got back in the car and left. Like, it was, like, I spent 2 hours driving just so that way I would say, like, I went out and saw that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have the same view of traveling that, like, other people do. I mean, for me, it's like, I just like the idea of walking around in a place and going there. I mean, sure, there is the aspect of, like, hey, I want to see these specific sites, and those are cool. But I don't know. I think I'm changing more into, like, I can appreciate the aspects of the journey. Along the, like, I don't care about.
Well, to me, I think having other people around me adds more, because of the way that I am, where I'm like, I want to see this thing and I want to relax. That's what I want to do, like, on a vacation, right? So, like, but having other people around me, I go, like, oh, we could, like, see things and, like, this, you know, if you wanted to go see something or, like, just hang out in this area, I'd be 100%, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'd be down with that. But, like, if it's just me, I'm going to be like, I'm going to sleep, eat good, and see some stuff. And that's all.
You know, it's weird. I guess maybe I'm in a different mindset. I like the idea of solo travel a lot. It's probably something I'll do at some point.
Yeah, I had a distant relative. He went, like, world travel. He sold all of his possessions and just had a backpack, and he went to, like, Egypt. He went to, like...
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. That would be so cool to do.
He went to a bunch of places. I mean, like... He has a bunch of photos, and they came back, and he's like, well, now I'm just going to work and die. I did it all. And just...
Yeah, that's a weird
resolution. Yeah. I understand it. You know what I mean? He was like, I think he turned, like, 30, and he was like, all right, well, I want to see the world. But I know I need to, like, come back and, like, work a job and, like, you know, be able to retire and stuff. So I'll just do it all now. And just like, you know?
Yeah, I want to...
took a year off.
I think what I'll need to do is I need to make enough money to sustain myself so that I get some more passive income coming in. And then I'm just going to travel a bunch, see a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Maybe die in the wilderness.
There you go.
And then if I come back, and then there'll just be money in my account, we can start where we left off.
There you go. I mean, like, the only place I wouldn't really want to go to, like... I don't know, there's a bunch of places that I wouldn't really want to go.
I want to go everywhere. I don't think there's any place off limits for me.
I just don't. Like, there's certain places that, like... I don't want to go to, like... I've been to Mexico. I don't really care to go back. It's nothing against Mexico. It's just, like, I went there. I'm like, this is... Wow. It's Mexico. There's, like, desert and stuff. Everybody speaks Spanish. Hola, senor. You know, and like, then I left, and it was like, I mean, that was Mexico. And sure, there's other things to see, I'm sure, but I guess I just don't really care to see them.
You know, my cousin showed me this series of this guy. It's called like C90 Adventures. And the dude takes what is akin to essentially like a pizza delivery bike and drives it from Alaska all the way to like Argentina. And it's really interesting because he documents like his journey. He starts with like his girlfriend at the time, and then as time goes on, they break up, and he goes solo from like Mexico to Argentina, basically.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
Jesus.
It's a wild adventure, and he goes off roading, even on this stupid bike. It gets broken. He has to fix it. There's a part where like he can't get it to the country he needs to go without spending a bunch of money, so he like takes apart the whole bike, hides it in a bag, and pretends he's just carrying luggage on this boat to like, because they said that you can have as much luggage as you want, but if you wanted to bring a motorcycle or something, you have to pay like $1,000 fee. So he just paid $500 for him and infinite luggage, and then he packed everything into cheap bags he bought, and then just reassembled his bike when he was in the other country. So he didn't have any of like the legal import papers for the bike. It just fucking whatever. But
for a pedal bike?
No.
Motorcycle.
It's a motorcycle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially like a pizza delivery motorbike.
Gotcha.
It's a really like 1960s like Honda C90 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about bikes to tell you anything else about it, but
cool.
it is awesome. Yeah, it's really neat. And I thought he's like, my difficulty with him is that he doesn't. He's more about like the destination. I think it seems the way from what he's doing.
I guess, how much have you traveled?
I don't think I've traveled enough.
Yeah, so maybe that's it, right?
Yeah, maybe
because I've traveled a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm kind of like, eh.
That's true. Maybe the more I travel, I'll become like jaded, and it won't matter.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, it's another desert, man. And he was like that too. Like after he's traveled a lot, so maybe it is. Maybe it is. That's what it is.
I went to Iceland. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is great, right? The whole time I'm there, like all it was just traveling around, going from town to town.
Yeah.
And that was great. I had a great vacation. Great honeymoon. But like, it's like, I think about going to like some random bum town in like, I don't know, Chile or something. And I'm like, why? It might look pretty, but like, I'd rather like do something or see something or like have like a good meal and like hang out with like family or friends and like exist in a place together.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see after I do some traveling if I feel the same way. I don't know.
I don't know. I think I get lonely pretty easily too.
Something I want to do that I was looking up recently, and I was talking with one of my friends about doing, which I think he's game to do. I want to do the Pacific Crest Trail, and that's from essentially Mexico to Canada. So you go through California, Washington, and it's a walking trail. It's 2,600 miles. That is something I really want to do. I think that would be a bunch of fucking fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful landscape all through the United States. I mean, those states anyways.
Yeah.
But
my cousin wants to do the one that goes like from like New York to like North Dakota or something. So like you like start in New York state and you go like all the way up through like Michigan to Wisconsin, and
that could be cool too.
Yeah.
Man.
But that would take forever.
Yeah, the Pacific Crest Trail takes 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
I totally want to just go at it. Don't worry about anything else. 5 fucking months of walking.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
If I could not worry about anything else, it would be great.
Yeah, at some point I'm just gonna say fuck it and do it anyways. So.
Yeah. My problem is that I have like my wife and like a house and junk.
Dude, bring your wife with you.
Stapled in. I doubt that she would want to do this.
Dude, she totally wants to see the States, bro.
I mean, like, if we just, won the lottery, sure. If everything was just taken care of, we could just go away. We got 2 cats. We got to feed them. Pay attention to them.
Just let them loose, bro. They'll figure it out. They have instincts, bro. They're animals.
What I'm saying is that I'm anchored.
Yeah, you're anchored, dude.
It's not that
Your boots are on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't just take a fucking C90 bike and go from Alaska to Argentina.
Yeah. That's a young
And because you don't
game.
believe you can. That's true, too.
I think you could. I just think it'd take forever.
Yeah, I think it took this guy several years to get down there, so...
Jesus, did he, ever stop and settle down?
I think he did. He took breaks during it in different parts and things like that, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Damn.
It's difficult to tell because, he has all the footage, but he hasn't, over the years, what he would do is he'd have to wait till he get enough money to check into a hotel for, a week to edit a video.
Yeah.
So, some of the videos that we saw at the end of the trip were things that were taken, in 2015, but he just released them, last year or something.
Jesus.
So, he's been editing them forever. Yeah,
I mean, imagine you filmed that whole time, and you were I just have, months or years worth of recording
footage. Yeah. That's crazy to me. That's really interesting too.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think it'd be cool to if you took a year off to just see the world. I think that gives you a lot of perspective and stuff too, right? You kind of see where people's thoughts and how this person in this part of the world acts, and
Yeah, I suppose I just want to see the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful of all of it, because I feel the isolated echo chamber of the world we see through the internet is not reality. It's so fake. Yeah. And I know it's fake even if I haven't traveled. I can tell. I know it's fucking completely unreal.
Arguing with someone that we know about how politics in another country is completely ruining that country or whatever. Yeah. And I'm I've been to that place and nobody seems bothered by it and it seems perfectly fine.
It's just you.
You are putting this perception out on them, on that place, right? Without knowing anything.
It's your lens that you view it through with the limited information you have. Yeah. And none of it is fucking real. It's all fake.
If you showed up there and asked people about it, they'd be
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, shear the sheep and...
Imagine someone from Germany coming over here and be so I'm gonna get shot, but, what do you guys think of this bill that passed a few months ago? And everybody would be what bill? I don't know.
We're not. I work at McDonald's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's?
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
People just need to go outside and touch grass. I agree. That's what it comes down to.
Turn off your screens and touch grass. That's it. That's all you got to do.
There's no point. Everything you're viewing is fake. Just turn off the computer, stop ingesting the pollution in your brain, and just fucking go outside.
Damn. I can't wait to go outside.
Yeah?
Well, I'm going to be outside for a weekend, drinking heavily, killing myself.
That's true. Honestly, we're not going to have another podcast. 25 is the last one. You're going to suffer brain death from the alcohol poisoning.
I'm going to come back, and I'm going to be what do you mean this podcast doesn't have any beers? It's 11. It's about time we crack one,
Yeah, bro, I need alcohol if I'm going to do the rest of this, dude. I don't think I can. Dude, I only feel good when I have alcohol in me. I don't.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is that I do feel good whenever I have alcohol, but the afterwards is never worth it.
You just gotta drink more water, bro.
I feel depressed the day afterwards. It doesn't matter how much water I drink.
Dude, maybe instead of letting go and drinking as much as possible, you should do the opposite and drink nothing.
Nah. I thought about that as well, right? But I don't know. Part of a social thing in my family is like drinking a couple beers. I don't need to completely let go, but if somebody hands me a shot, I'm going to drink it.
Well, then why don't you're going to have another one, right? At some point. So why don't this one you drink till you're stupid, and the next one you don't drink at all, and then you record how you feel after each one.
Or, hear me out on this one. I have a couple beers, right? But I don't say no to any drinks. Okay? And I just live a normal life.
Heck, I don't know.
Keeping up with, like, whatever pace I want. Making my own decisions. And all that. I feel like that's a good way of doing it. But at the same time, I always have the mental image of, like, oh no, I need to let go. I need to just, like, do this thing differently, even though I don't need to at all.
Yeah, we're going to record the podcast after your thing this weekend, and we'll see how you felt like the time went.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Aren't you going? You're leaving soon.
The 16th, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we got
Yeah, we could do another one if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, we've been doing like every week for the last couple.
We just talked about, honestly, this whole episode was about dreams and dreams for traveling. That's what it was. And dreams of traveling. Dreams of going distances. Mm-hmm. Distances you've gone.
Yeah.
In reality and in dreams.
Yep. Living.
Yeah. We gotta have one more topic before we end this.
I'm trying to think. Let me think here.
What else happened in your life? What do you want to talk about?
I just feel like I breathe and I feel good about the fact that, like, no matter what I do, I'm still alive, and like I'm happy to live life with people around me. I don't know that I think that that's what brings me in and out of depressions.
Is people.
Is just the fact that I'm alive.
Well, it sounds like it's a dramatic, maybe not dramatic. It's an improvement since the last episode. I mean, we had to color that whole thumbnail black because of how much depression there was.
But I mean, like, if you look at it, right, it comes in so many waves, because there's probably a couple episodes before that. Probably like 10 episodes before that. I was like, oh man, I'm depressed.
It's true, yeah.
And then like a couple episodes after that, I was fine. It's just trying to figure out what that is, or if it's something that, like, I don't even really have, like, mental control over, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's trying to figure that out. But I don't know. I'm just some dude. I can do is be in the moment and live my life.
Yeah, my goal is just to live in the present. That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah, I just got to live my life. And so if I get really drunk, that's me living my life. If I don't, that's me living my life.
Liver failure is living your life.
It's living my life.
It's living your life.
Look, if the other
These puns are horrible, but
if the other people around me are drinking more than I am, and they're old, then realistically I should be fine. We can use that as a scale.
I'm gonna come to one of your family events and not drink. That's what I want to do.
Tough luck. Nah, they'd be fine with it. But it's just like, I don't know.
I'm just gonna constantly criticize them every time they offer me a drink. Be that guy. Be like, what do you think you're doing?
You want another glass of water? Bub?
Yeah. Dude, you need some water. Look at you. I can see your liver through here. Through your shirt. It's dying.
People have been heavily drinking longer than you've been alive.
I just put my ear up to their stomach. You're dying in there, bro. What are you doing? Do you know anything about this?
Yeah.
Does this make you happy? Maybe temporarily. No, just be really philosophical about it.
I think that the even though it temporarily makes you happy, it also creates memories. It
does remove memories too.
Yes. It has the power of all.
It's a balancing act between remembering and not remembering, between consciousness and unconsciousness. Oh man,
you
got to bring your everything up there, right? Is your cousin going up there too?
No.
Oh, man.
Other side of the family.
Oh, he's not invited. I get it.
No.
I was going to say he could bring the shrooms up there. You guys could have a real good time.
There you go. Yeah.
Find God even with all the alcohol.
Yeah, here you go, everyone. They're just on the table. Anybody? Anybody want to take some? Come on. Let's see God tonight. Come on.
Not really relevant, but kind of relevant. I was watching a video about these mushrooms that kill you. I think they're called death caps or whatever. Okay. And they cause liver failure, which I thought was kind of funny.
Comedy gold.
Yeah. Like
liver failure.
People go out and they mistake them for mushrooms that are edible and they eat them, and then before they know it, their liver's failing and they're dying.
Yeah.
So it's like a couple people die every year from it in like California and stuff. I just thought that was interesting. I was like, wow, it's...
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you just got to stick to like morels because they're really easy to identify.
That's true.
Yeah, even though you never had a morel. I feel bad.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go find morels, dude.
All right, here's what we'll do next year.
Yeah, when do they come up?
I want to say like just before fall.
Just before fall.
So what we'll do is we'll grab like a bunch of bags.
We'll go up to your cabin. Are they on there? Are they by your cabin and stuff? Okay.
Yeah. So like people usually what'll happen is it's around the time of like grouse. So like people just you throw on your vest, you bring your gun, and then you bring a bunch of bags, and you're like I found a bunch of morels, and you pick them all, and yeah.
People love their morels, man. I'm gonna have to try these at some point.
They taste good.
Yeah.
What they say too is that like once you find one, your eye like figures out what it looks like and how to find it, and then you find 50. You find millions of them. So like
once you know, then they all become apparent.
The hardest part is finding the first one. Like if you don't find that first one, you're never gonna find it. Clearly, if you never find number 1, you'll never find number 50.
It's true. Maybe that's what. If you don't try the first drink, you're never gonna find the other 50.
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't let go with the first one, you're not gonna wake up the next morning with a pounding headache.
I'm at the point now where I can drink the littlest amount of alcohol and be really drunk and then have a headache the next day. It doesn't matter how much. So I'm at the point where no matter what, it's going to be a hangover. I might as well enjoy my time.
You might as well.
Yeah. So, I just want to connect with my family more.
Honestly, it did seem like you were talking about this sentiment in a few other episodes too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like your sister and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like my whole family is like everybody. Like, I've always felt like a black sheep. We've gone over all this, right? I've always felt like an outsider or whatever. So like in my mind, I'm like, I just want to connect, but at the same time, I gotta be myself. So we'll see. I don't know. I just want to be relaxed and talk to people and not care about what I talk about, I guess.
It does sound, it sounds like there's an interesting battle in you between being yourself and then going with the flow and being like who everyone wants you to be.
The wacky thing is that people like me for who I am usually. And it's just that I'm afraid of not. I don't know. I'm not even really afraid of it because I'm not really conscious of it. Just when I'm around other people, I just become less of myself, I guess.
Yeah, you're like more them or things that you think they want.
Yeah.
Rather than who you are.
Or just quiet. Just don't say anything.
That's true. Didn't you say you were like a wallflower at one of your own parties recently? Or something like that?
But that was, yeah. Because, work. Yeah, exactly. So, wallflower.
Yeah.
It's an interesting term.
I believe that's what it's called.
What's the opposite of a wallflower, like in flower terms?
Honestly, I think it's just from that book. I think that's what it is.
The Wallflower?
Yeah. That book about...
Is that a book?
I think it is a book,
I just made up a title.
I can't remember, honestly, but...
The Wallflower.
It's like this book about this autistic kid. I don't remember.
I mean... Yeah, but I mean, what would... Alright, so is there like a floor flower? A ceiling flower? Is there like a table flower? Is a table flower more social than a wallflower?
Oh God!
Or is there only wallflowers?
It has something to do with the fact that like their wallpaper has flowers on it, and like they don't stand out because there's like a bunch of. They're just like they're like wallpaper essentially. Like they're a bunch of like flowers, not like they're lost, and I don't know. I don't remember the metaphor. I just know that the term is like somebody that like is just like quiet and watches and is like autistic and is like,
damn,
I don't know. It's like the term you use for somebody that's like really stiff.
Well, like, I mean, the term makes sense, right? Because it's someone who just kind of like doesn't participate. And
they're
just
in like the background. Yeah, they're like on the wall. They're like not a part of the thing happening.
That makes sense. I'm just trying to make the point of. I mean, are there other kinds of flowers? Was my
honestly, I don't know.
You know, if there's a floor flower, I don't know what.
Yeah, I guess if you had tiles that had flowers on it, you could be. But then that would be like a metaphor for like instead of on the walls, you're being like stepped on. Right?
Yeah. You try to participate.
What would like a floor flower be?
It'd be like someone who like tries to like talk or hang out and be like a interesting person, but then just like gets talked over.
And, they like get trampled on. They try to do,
and then they move to the wall because it's safe there.
Honestly, this podcast, this is like Shakespeare, right? We're creating our own words here.
Yep.
In real time for the audience to witness our impeccable ingenuity.
Yeah. Damn. Do you know that my grandma was at my cousin's wedding?
I thought you were going to say my grandma knew Shakespeare. I was like, please tell me that's exactly where he's going with this. My grandma knew Shakespeare? No, she was at your cousin's wedding, you said?
Well, so this is something that they told me later on. There was 2 butterflies. My cousin had a wedding in Hawaii. There's 2 butterflies that wouldn't leave butterflies aren't that common in Hawaii. And then, like, on top of that, there was 2 of them, and they wouldn't leave the wedding ceremony.
Wow.
So in spirit, everybody was like, Grandma was there.
Honestly, that's cool, dude.
Oh, yeah.
If people,
if people find it, you know.
If you find spirituality, if I can find it in flipping random pages of books, people can find it in
2 butterflies.
And essentially what is that Greek term called? It's like ornithomancy. It's where like they see different numbers of birds and then they determine like what's happening based on how many birds. Like, oh, it's 2 birds. This is evil. There's something evil afoot or whatever. Or like, I don't know. It wasn't like directly that, but it was like, oh, there's 5 crows in the sky. Your child will be a boy. Like,
God. But yeah, so you know,
honestly, it sounds like you gotta be yourself, bro.
I've been trying more and more.
What do you think is yourself?
Me.
Yeah, but like what?
I don't know. What do you think yourself is?
I think we're all.
That's a cop out. Tell me what you are.
God.
You're copping out right now.
What am I? I am everything I think I am.
Uh-huh.
And I am whatever I do. That is what I am.
You are what you eat?
I am what I eat too.
You ever play Pajama Sam?
I have a long time ago, yeah.
Did you play the food one?
I think so.
That one was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. You just reminded me. So there's a part in Pajama Sam.
You reminded yourself. I didn't say shit.
Yeah, but anyways... The food one, right? Pajama Sam, he gets all obese. This reminded me of WALL-E and how there's like this movement of people who are against WALL-E. Like, because WALL-E is a fat shaming movie. It literally is like these people got too fat to where they couldn't control their giant ship because none of them walked anymore. And like somehow that's a negative thing for society for people who are really fat.
And yeah, I get it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't.
It makes sense, right? Because people don't want to accept
that
they need to feel pain to overcome being fat. I mean, that's what it is, right?
Realize that maybe you should get out of the chair every so often and like move.
And it's also, and you know, there's the responsibility on the people as well, but there's also a responsibility on the corporations that feed them slop that makes them think that that's food and it's not. Yeah. There's a failing on the educational system for not teaching us proper things about nutrition and how valuable it is to eat healthy. Yeah. Like, there's so many things that failed them before they get onto my 600-pound life, okay? Yeah. It's not just them. It's their family. It's their government. It's their society.
Yep. That is
it's themselves, too, okay? That they're the ones, at the end of the day, that start and finish with the chip entering and leaving their mouth.
So, but the thing that I'm taking offense of here is that someone is taking offense over the kids' movie WALL-E.
Yeah.
Saying that this is fat shaming, when in reality, it could be more of a warning. It could be more of something that they could look at and go like, oh, maybe I don't want to be an obese person in a chair that doesn't talk to people face to face anymore.
You know, it's true. There is, it's funny how when people are afraid to witness what the full, like, reality of their situation is.
Yeah.
And seeing it in a movie, what a sedentary lifestyle of just engorging and
not
caloric superfluity,
yeah,
like, results in.
Yeah.
On top of, like, increasing technological, like, disconnection, because everybody
just talks through their thingy.
Everybody's everybody's interacting with facades of things that aren't real. Like, they care about, like, things that don't matter.
Well, and I mean, like, you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it would be funny if you were just
No, I've seen the movie. Okay. I've seen him fall out of the chair. I remember that part.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all right, so the whole thing is that, like, nobody was really living their lives, right? No. Yeah. And in order to, like, turn the ship around, which is, like, it's a good metaphor, I guess. The guy needed to actually get up and take action and do something, right? Rather than
react, right? Rather than
live life.
Yeah, he's got to actually live instead of just letting life pass him by.
What a good metaphor for people to learn that people are like, no, I want to be obese, and this movie's stopping me.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is that's probably actually what they believe too.
Yeah,
like it's a coping mechanism for like their weight.
For rather than take action and like live your life, we need to sit in our chairs and stay on Twitter.
Yeah, and you have to enforce that lifestyle and like enforce it on other people because that's how you feel comfortable with yourself.
Yeah. Now, this could be a giant troll. Because I don't actually believe that these people exist. That someone's actually like, I'm anti-WALL-E. WALL-E, get that movie out of my household. I burned 50 copies of WALL-E on DVD.
Honestly, there's got to be people that believe that. I don't. It's a big world.
Yeah.
There's big people out there.
Speaking of big people, and this is just something that I just thought was like interesting.
Okay.
It sounds mean now that I'm thinking about it, but I'll still say it anyway.
Yeah, say it. We're allowed to make mistakes.
I went to the gas station.
Oh, no. Okay.
I went to the gas station, and like a guy ahead of me. Okay. I don't know what he does, don't know his life, don't know his story, right? Yeah. But, like, he wasn't, like, super fat, but just a little bit, right?
He was like, hyper fat, is what you're telling me.
No. He was wearing a tight shirt, and he had, like, a belly.
Okay.
Right? So, like, clearly, like, unhealthy or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. Once again, don't know this guy, don't know anything about him, okay? But he had a Slurpee, Sprite, so, like, the white one, and then a Monster Energy in his hands, okay? Puts them on the counter, asks for a carton of cigarettes, okay, pays, and then goes to his car, lights up a cigarette, and, like, drinks the thing. I'm like, damn, this guy he's going. He's living.
He's going somewhere fast.
I thought to myself, I'm like, because in my own brain and in my, like, brain bubble of society, I'm like, everyone knows that sugar's bad and that you shouldn't smoke. Everybody knows these things. It's just common. And then I look and I'm like, no, actually. Or they do know and they don't care.
Or they do know and they think they can't quit too. That could be something as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, you're looking at this guy with the fucking big gulp and the energy drink and the smoking, but he's probably got like 3 cups of coffee in him already. He's probably
could have.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, like 70% of people in the United States drink coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, like, you know, he's got Monster Energy,
he's
right?
He's going hard.
But I mean, like, this guy, he probably has, like, he looked older, so he probably has like a kid or two.
Yeah.
He's
probably stressed.
Works a job. Yeah. It's just like, you can look at that and be like, well, this is just, you know, this is what we live with here.
Yeah, this is what we aspire to be.
Yeah, it's just like, I can look at that and look at that person and go like, this guy he's going to kill himself soon.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe will. Maybe not.
I do find that to be the ultimate irony about looking at other people. Is it's easy to point out that
their flaws,
but it's impossible to, without a bunch of work, to shine a mirror in your own direction and look in. I find that really entertaining. I can easily pick out like things that I think would be healthier for other people's lives. But then when I try to do it for mine, my brain's like, no, there's no way. It like rationalizes it.
You need to stop.
My ego is like, no, you need to do this. Yeah, you should do that instead. No, other people, that doesn't work for you. Yeah.
I can sit here and be like, I shouldn't play video games. Yeah. But like, then I get home and I'm like, man, there's really not a lot for me to do.
Yeah, I guess I'll just spend my time gaming. At least I'm not fucking... At least I don't got a big gulp with an energy drink and fucking cigarette addiction.
Yeah, but no. At least I'm eating healthy and exercising.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, I can sit there and go like, I can play video games because I eat healthy and exercise.
Yeah, you're justifying it.
I don't live in Wall-E World. Anyway.
You don't, not yet.
We're getting there.
Until Elon Musk puts that spaceship up in the air, baby.
I'll be on there.
Then we'll be living Wall-E life.
Yeah. I'll be like, man, I have zero ambitions to do anything.
Man, I love walking around the same 100 square foot room I have in this tiny spaceship when I sleep in this pod and I eat these bugs that they grow in the locust room.
The locust room.
What's today? Fucking locust and chili powder. Great. It's better than the locust and turmeric we had last week. When are we going to get the locust and oregano back? It gives me a vague sense of pizza every time I eat it. Holy shit, I'm so excited for that.
Anyways, I'm gonna call Cody here. Hey Cody, did you hear that they're having the crickets and chili powder?
Oh god, not the fucking crickets and chili powder again, dude. I'm just gonna starve myself and then I'm not gonna be able to die because they pump me up with so many prescription drugs that I feel like I need to eat the bugs because I forget I'm conscious.
But here's the thing though, the thing is that you know you can't miss a meal, dude.
It's true, I can't miss a meal. I can't miss a Amazon jerk-off session either. Yeah. Every day I gotta wake up and she's like, come here, Cody. It's time for your repeat and semen loss. I want you to feel every day you do this for the good of the civilization. You're helping so many people.
The ship's reactor. Good job. Good job.
Good job. Man, can you play a different video? I'm tired of looking at the same video of the same woman for the last 556 days I've been on this fucking spaceship.
We have video of man.
Oh, man, they keep trying to push the video with man again. I don't understand how we're supposed to save the civilization when we're all gay.
Wait a second. There's no girls on the ship.
Wait, what happened to all the women? Oh, they split off in a ship 5 millennia ago, and we're supposed to meet back up with them when we have better logistics.
They just come back and we're all like obese in our chairs.
Yeah. And they've just been training on videos to love dad bods. Balding dad bods.
It's been like 6 generations of women. They're all like, oh my god.
Finally.
Your bone structure is non-existent. I love it.
You're like cello in a fucking human form. What keeps you together?
So anyway,
this hell we've created. Good luck, guys. Good episode.
Yeah.
This episode would probably be a black thumbnail, too.
No. We'll just be obese in chairs. That's what we'll be. Anyway, goodbye.